Hey, hey. The devil went down to California and he, no, okay, that's not a good song. Hey, all right, you know what? Now, forget the songs today. Hey, good morning, everybody. What's popping? It's your favorite Blurds. Once again on the weekend, humming the fill in, everything blurry that's happened throughout the weekend, even last week, since this dude named Ian pulled up on Florida and kind of knocked out my power. Yes, it's two for a couple days, but we back, hallelujah, and we are live, kind of from Comic Con a little bit. You know what I'm saying? The bowl's up here, and I got New York behind me. But there's a few things popping up this week for those of y'all that don't know, not just this week, but last week as well. If you are not aware, yes, we were given a gem and learned that it is confirmed. Yes, 100% that Logan will be appearing in the upcoming Deadpool 3 movie. Yes, applause. Thank you, Ty. Yes, applause. And it was spilled on one of those leaks. Oh, I don't even call this a leak, but this video, which every time I see one of these videos, I love Ryan Reynolds even more. This dude is hilarious. And even though he plays the same character in all his roles, funny as hell. Also, it is confirmed. Well, it's not confirmed, but rumored that somebody special, as I look over at my lovely wife in the same room as me right now, and withhold comments about Jazzy Beats. We'll be in Deadpool 3. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to tell myself next. And what the big news is that we're going to talk about very shortly, though, is the fact that one of your favorite Marvel shows made an appearance in She-Hulk. Well, let's go ahead and talk, man. I am your boy, the Watcher, coming at you live from New York Comic Con. Hallelujah. What's going on, y'all? Yes, we out here, man. I know I look like me. It's me. All right. I grew a goatee. It's a lot of stuff going on in space, and I'm just, I went and got me a watch and all that, bro. So we out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little, I got to iron my robe here. That's a little limp. but we doing our thing. And of course, along with me, we got the Blurs, man. We got the homie Tyrone in the building, fellow New Yorker. We got Nolly is here. What's up, Lit Queen? Yes, Liddy. We got Ty here. All right, what's happening? Bad boy. And of course, the Yasmin, the mean queen, is in the building. We're gonna go ahead and talk all about these good old things, nerdy, blurdy, and all of that, especially since I'm out here looking like a fool. But actually, I don't. There's a lot of folks that look a lot like me. I feel just at home in these New York streets. But let's talk even more about it. Let's start it off with the new Blurred Order. What's up, Yvette?
Hey guys, I love the new Blurred Order. You should too.
Whoa.
Alrighty, y'all. See, bear with me. I'm not using my mic today. I got it in the earpiece, so it might sound a little different. And we got the lovely New York traffic in the background, man. And so this week, out of all of the things that we typically watch, we watch Andor, we watch Rings of Power, we watch House of Dragon. We watch She-Hulk, of course, and it's so many things going on. I definitely am excited about some of the episodes that we've seen. I didn't get a chance to see everything, but there's some dope stuff going on out there. But first, since we weren't able to discuss this last week due to Hurricane Ian and some power difficulties that I personally was having, I ain't gonna lie, I do want to talk about the potential for this upcoming Wolverine Deadpool movie. And so I call it a Wolverine Deadpool movie because at this point it feels more like it's Wolverine's movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious as to whether or not you guys are cool with this. If I could get y'all to if we could take a poll real quick, hands up. I mean, thumbs up if you're loving it, thumbs down if you're not feeling it, meh in the middle if you think that this ain't even of a concern to you. Go ahead and drop this in 3, 2, 1, and hell yeah! All right, we all in agreement. All right, yes, yo, why you think this is so dope, man? Are you loving it? What was your reaction when you learned that yes, the new Deadpool would be starring one of our favorite Marvel characters?
I was kind of geeked, no lie, because I was really upset after, Logan. I mean, obviously it was a great goodbye, to his saga, but there was definitely I was ready for more Hugh Jackman. I don't know about the world, but I was ready for more. So I'm super excited that he's back. And of of all of the people they could have teamed him up with, they used Deadpool, so I'm even more excited about that because those two are cheeky, and it's definitely going to be an adult film. So I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Like Tyrone, this is a movie where for the first time, the two lead characters, it seems like, I mean, are from R-rated movies, and you know, Marvel doesn't always do R-rated. How excited are you about this, man? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think they're just going to make a fun ass movie. I do think it'll be well. I honestly hope it'll be Hugh Jackman's last run at Wolverine. I do still want to see a good Wolverine recast, so we can kind of get
Right.
that. I'm still waiting for I'm still waiting for the Wolverine that I've been wanting to see. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be crazy. It's going to be very. I think it's going to be extra violent. It's going to be. They will stick with the R rating, I would imagine. I think they've already talked about whenever Deadpool does come to the MCU, it being it being an R-rated movie, and I don't think Marvel's not going to shy away from the violence. I actually saw Werewolf by Night, and
Yes.
was pretty. I was like, well, damn, they're kind of going at it right now.
Well, yo, hold on. My bad. Excuse me, screen.
No,
Werewolf by Night. Is it a solo movie? Like it kind of
It's a
popped up out of
one-off.
nowhere. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be a series, but it just popped up. It's 56 minutes or something like that, and it's on Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how? So we got to talk about that too, man. But I'm a little nervous. Tylene, the one thing I'm a little nervous about is when you bring Wolverine into Deadpool. Deadpool is a comedy. Logan is like a hella tragedy. It's dramatic. Like you don't laugh when you watch the Wolverine movies and Logan. So I'm wondering how they're gonna make this work. You know what I'm saying? Like, any concern about that, or what are your thoughts on the mashup on the collaboration?
Nah, not too concerned at all, really. I mean, I would gather that they would probably do the same thing that they've done in the other Deadpools, which is antagonize Wolverine, like with Deadpool, and then have him kind of just be like, and be broody, and you know what I'm saying, and be broody and shit like that. So I don't, and then we may see a couple of like comedic things from Hugh Jackman. He has been in comedies before, so he may try to add a little humor to his role. But I'm definitely not at all worried. Ryan Reynolds is a huge star. You add Hugh Jackman to the fray, which me and Yas share the same love of Hugh Jackman. I was like, seriously, because as soon as I heard the news that he would be back as Wolverine, not so much just him being in Deadpool, but just him being back as Wolverine. There's a few superheroes that we have acknowledged and identified as the character that they play. And right. Hugh Jackman has been identified as Wolverine until further notice. So yeah, I'm excited.
So Nolly, real quick, Ty brings up a good point. Hugh Jackman, just kind of like Deadpool and a bunch of other characters in the MCU and in Marvel movies, period, has kind of solidified himself as this character. We've gotten to the point where we can't even see anybody else as Wolverine yet, because we think of Wolverine as Hugh Jackman. They're just synonymous. So, I mean, is this desperation? Is this like, look, I don't know, something about this feels a little weird. How Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds always teases how he only has people on the show, like folks in his movies that his, Deadpool, this production can afford. Like he had to use a CGI Colossus, and like some off-brand character that I don't even remember the name in part one. That was pretty cool. What do you think is behind this whole Wolverine and Logan mash, Wolverine and Deadpool mashup, and what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's good fan service I mean, we all agree Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, period. We know. I agree with Tyrone. I'm ready for a new Wolverine. But I think that it fits because with the timelines and everything, like Old Man Logan, that whole thing was 2029. And so there's still time for him to be Wolverine. So I don't feel like it'll conflict with anything. They're also, this is our first Deadpool directly with the new like revamped Marvel Studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got the budget. He can afford him now. So I think it'll be great. I'm excited to see the dynamic, but I'm also ready for a new Wolverine.
Yeah, man. I agree with Tyrone tremendously that as much as I'm happy to see Logan return, yes, I am very eager for them to pass this baton. And I wish that they would kind of at least give us some hope that the next Wolverine, because they have to have he can't just be Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he can't be
Hugh Jackman forever.
Hugh Jackman forever. Yes,
Yes.
Thank you, yes.
I mean,
Thank you,
like,
yes.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to the picture of him, like him holding Deadpool real quick. Like, I'm sorry, but he still looks kind of young in the suit, dog. Okay, let it ride.
This is
All
not
right,
a real picture.
till he's like Xavier
Botox does wonders.
and we're looking like Magneto, like aged in 20 years and shit. You know what I mean? Like, we're good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We're good.
All right. So I guess since Wolverine seems to be taking over the headlines with this movie, the last thing we'll talk about with this is well, I tell you what. Let's just go ahead and if you didn't see it already, Ryan Reynolds and Wolverine. I don't even know his name. Hugh Jackman. Actually,
No, you said it right the first
Right.
time, guys. You said it right. You said it
Nailed
right.
it.
All right. Well, they did like a little promo or whatever online where they leak. I like using the word leak so much, but this is not what. I mean, this is pretty much an announcement. It's a confirmation. So why don't we check that out and see and talk about what they discuss on this? And I thought this was hilarious, by the way. Let's
A lot of questions. I'm sure you had a lot of questions, but rest assured, we're going to answer them right now. Like, for example, how is Wolverine alive?
Yeah.
After Logan.
Logan takes place in 2029.
Mhm.
Totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan. Not touching that. What actually happens in our film is thank you and to you.
Wake me up before you go to me.
Yo, these dudes are completely nuts, yo.
Yo.
And
Yeah.
if anything, that trailer or whatever that was we just watched, if anything, it lets you know that they about to go full silly. You know what I'm saying? They not about to play around with dialing back Deadpool from being as funny. If anything, he'll be even funnier now that he has to contend with Logan. This is not an unfamiliar mashup. There have been many comic books where Wolverine and Deadpool have appeared in together. There have been Strike Forces, X Forces, X-Men. So this is a familiar pairing, Tyrone. So I honestly can't see it going wrong in any way whatsoever. The question I have is, who is the villain of this movie? Who is it that we're looking to defeat? Where does this go? Is this introduction to Strike Force? I actually heard some rumors that they were trying to put Deadpool in the Thunderbolts, which I wouldn't think that that's necessary. He's already carried his weight as a solo character. But what's the speculation on the villain? Any news? Tyrone, you heard anything?
I haven't heard anything or read anything. I think everybody's still really, jazzed over the Wolverine thing and the Deadpool thing. So like people are still on that. So I'm just gonna put it out there who I'd like to see. So we know Juggernaut is still alive, and I thought Deadpool 2 had the best Juggernaut so far, and also that Colossus was great. But if I can get anybody for this movie, I'd love to see Omega Red. Yeah, I would love to see Omega Red as the Deadpool Wolverine villain. But yeah, I think that would be my go-to. So yeah, that's who I'd like to see.
That's definitely that's fascinating. Yes, you got any speculation of who may be a villain, or who maybe would you want to see as a villain in a Deadpool 3?
I don't know. That just blew my mind with Omega Red.
Yeah, it did. Hasn't he been like teased? In was there a movie he was teased a little bit? Was there a tentacle mention?
Nah,
or
just
something?
just the cartoon, just the animated.
Just the cartoon.
It's just the animated version. Yeah, they
All
never
right,
really like. Yeah, nah.
What about you, Nolly? Any speculation? Anybody you may want to see in the Deadpool movie?
It's not something I've thought about because, like, Deadpool 3, like, I knew we were getting it finally in the MCU, but it's been such a long time since they announced that to now getting the Wolverine announcement. So now it's like, well, now it could be so many people. So now I got to sit and think about this. Not Kim Kardashian could be the new shit.
It could be Mephisto.
Don't do that.
Now I see. Now, real quick, shout out to the comment section. Did you say Mephisto? Yes. Are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna make
Ultron?
a silly ass movie, then like might as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a comeback. Hey.
Madison's gonna show up.
Comeback. He never showed up.
That's true.
He was teased. He was teased.
I mean,
he was.
They could be at a bar. Madison shows up and she'd be like, "It's not where you think," and then Mephisto. I'm ready.
He did give the goat, some blood, and you know what I'm saying. They did some stuff. So
that is true. There was that demonic stuff. Ty, any speculation? Anybody you'd like to see, man, as a villain or just in the movie?
Man.
Oh, I like that.
And I would really like to see them do what you call it the right way. What is his name? Not Armageddon.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Oh,
I would really like to see them do Apocalypse the right way. Stop making him corny. Stop doing matter of fact, you know what? If they were to take DC's version of what you call it and make Apocalypse similar to that, I'd be absolutely
Dark Side.
Yep, I'd be absolutely fine with that. I would be absolutely fine with that. If you did a similar version, something like that, where he's the dark person, not corny, like what I'm saying, like really killing people and doing stuff like that. Yeah, like let's do that.
I'm here for that. I'm not sure if Apocalypse is such a major villain. You know what I'm saying? Like Deadpool seems to be more of a small scale. I mean, just to have Juggernaut, like, and Juggernaut never has been like a dominating. Like he's always been like I mean, he showed up in Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? He shows up with against the X-Men. Like he's always just kind of everywhere. But they've never really. It seems like they never really go full big villain with Deadpool movies, right? I can't even remember who the first villain was, honestly, in the first movie. Who was the first Deadpool villain? I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? So
Society, goddammit, I don't know.
Stop it.
Sick. They was a villain.
Yeah. So I'm like trying to so I would assume that it'd be a little closer to Tyrone's guess, where we have an identifiable villain, but not like a mega level villain, like a Kang or like a Thanos. I put Apocalypse in that category, but I would not be opposed to it. I do kind of, though, I ain't gonna lie, I think that Apocalypse may have to just die with X-Men with that movie, because that was like the worst X-Men movie ever. Like I thought that was the lowest of the totem pole of X-Men movies. But
I would hope that he doesn't. I would hope that he doesn't die with that X-Men movie, because Apocalypse has a lot of story in the comic book. He's a major villain in the comic book. He's connected to so many other heroes that turn villain in the comic books. True. So like even if he was the guy or the person, like how the after credit scenes they'll like show you who was pulling the strings the whole time. Even if you use Juggernaut in that way, even though I don't really see the connection there, but if you were to use someone like a Juggernaut in that way, at the end of the movie or whatever, you could literally, what I'm saying, just make him into the real villain.
Oh
Alright.
wow, yo.
I've gotten so many DMs just now about Omega Red. Like everyone watching is like, yeah, that'd be great. And I'm like,
That would be great.
okay.
It
Alright,
would,
so
man.
what
Yeah,
if
yes.
and it's like one of the comic books I'm like reading in my my Marvel encyclopedia real quick.
So cute.
Hey.
Not the plug.
Yeah, the plug. So actually the scrolls in Secret Invasion actually involve Deadpool, so maybe that might tie into each other because we do have Secret
Oh,
Invasion coming out and we do have
Oh,
another, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying.
my friend just said Mr. Sinister.
yo, hold on.
Okay,
Now,
that's
Mr.
this
Sinister
one-
could be cool. Yeah, the scrolls in Secret Invasion basically involves everybody. So
Mhm.
Right.
there's nobody that's
Right.
not touched by that
I'm not
storyline.
name
pretty
dropping
much.
after that. That's all. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like leave you guys with that tidbit I just read. So, but yeah, just the possibilities are fucking endless. So I'm excited for it. Hell yeah.
Okay. I would also not mind if Cable returned. I thought Cable was a great addition to part 2. And I'm hoping that maybe even if it's for a brief moment, Josh Brolin has been such a gift for the Marvel Studios with Thanos' voice and I think he may have even done a couple of characters on voiceover characters for some of the cartoons. But the most important return, once again, just to reiterate, has to be Domino. Listen, if Domino does not return to the screen, we marching, we're looting, we're pillaging and all kind of things. We're gonna go straight to Ukraine. Let me stop. That was insensitive. I apologize. Bad joke. But yeah, man, this is I was looking disappointed Tyrone, like, oh my God, he's gonna wait till he gets Kevin. I have to see Lucky again. Like, she was so dope, and damn near I say that Domino, even though I know I'm biased, can carry her own show. Like, I think that she could lead into a Marvel Studios six episode short series. Yeah, why are you laughing? Yes, you laughing at me? Yes.
I'm thinking of the Cable thing. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Oh,
Just in case if he does come back though, if Cable does come back though, that could mean that like they're gonna tie in Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four. So
right.
just saying, another possibility.
And I'm also still awaiting, because there's no way they can't at some point in time like really get into the Galactus storyline. Like, he's too big. They've already kind of teased it a little bit when they did the Fantastic Four with Silver Surfer, Rise of Silver Surfer. But like, I want to see like a legit. Now, I don't think that's gonna happen in Deadpool again. Like, somebody in the comments, shout out to the comment section, y'all on fire today.
Yeah.
On Fuego. Somebody was like, Deadpool doesn't really have big villains.
Yeah.
Deadpool's a star, so we're here for it, man. Deadpool 3, man. It just got even more exciting. And wish we could have talked about it last week when it was breaking news, but definitely had to address it. But since we're in the Marvel universe, man, let's just go ahead and stick with it, and let's talk about something else that happened this week in the Marvel universe, and that's She-Hulk smashed again, but this time it was the homie. It's like, yo, they are not playing, and I love it. I'm here for every moment of it. I'm not upset with it. I want them to show a real life character with real life situations that she really has to deal with, and this was an instance in which that was not something they shied away from. So just real quick, man, if I can give us if we can go ahead and take a poll on this one as well. Thumbs up if you loved it or really liked it. Thumbs down if you hated it. Meh if it was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna bring this down in the count of 3. Everybody give us your opinions. We got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Wow. Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh.
What? First of all, yes,
What
has 2 thumbs,
happened?
but the thumbs are down. She's like, thumbs up, but thumbs down. Like, she's like, the thumbs are down here. But yo, Ty, you got the meh, bruh? What's up with the meh, bruh?
I mean, I'm a huge Daredevil fan. Love me, Charlie. All of that. But I mean, this is like, I don't share the same love for this show that a lot of y'all do. Like, I don't. It's a lot of times I'm like, I really at this point have just been waiting for Charlie to show up. That's at this point, that's really what it was. When he showed up, I was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And then and then she smashed Charlie, and I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, so this is what we're gonna be doing from now on. But I'm not mad at the show. You know, I understand what they're doing and everything like that, and it was just really good to see Matt Murdock again. So
Yeah. Do you think that they represented him right? I mean, we've all been kind of nervous about the bloody, violent, mature audience only Daredevil Netflix show crossing over into the kid-friendly TV 14 Disney Plus Marvel universe. Did they do it justice? You know, we didn't get to see him fight off 100 people in a staircase or in an elevator. We didn't really see any blood. There was a lot of fighting, but no blood, which is not typical for Deadpool. Do you feel like it was like with the glimpse that we saw of Deadpool, Ty? Can we now look forward to a Deadpool series being reintroduced to Disney Plus, or what?
Daredevil.
What did I say?
He said Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool.
That's okay. You're excited. You're excited. It's all good.
Yeah, Deadpool. Whatever. I don't know. That's for you, Tylene.
what was that?
Well, just did you like the representation of Daredevil? Like, did they do him justice in this episode?
I mean, he was watered down. He was watered down.
Okay.
He was watered down. He didn't have his and look, and you just showed it. He didn't have his typical scarlet glasses on, and
He did.
I didn't see him. I didn't
In
see
the
him.
courtroom?
In the courtroom.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, that was me. That's on me then.
You didn't give it a chance.
No. It was just he did seem like, you know, very different from, you know, the Matt Murdock we left in you know, that had just defeated Kingpin. You know, was kind of reeling from his wounds and all of that kind of stuff. You know, this version of him seems more carefree. You know, I'm gonna be honest, he was very nonchalant about his identity and you know, giving it up so quick. I was like, okay.
Well,
I mean,
Not in the courtroom.
nah, not in the courtroom. Not in the courtroom. He alluded to some things initially when he was like, oh, I bought a suit from him. Now, you know damn well, She-Hulk, that the guy who sells suits is making suits primarily for superheroes.
Yeah, true.
And then he says, oh, you know, I got a suit from him. And not in any moment did it register that, why does he get his suits all the way from LA and he lives in New York? None of that registered. But at the end of the day,
She a little slow.
Yeah. It was just
Not really a lawyer show. Remember that, okay?
Well, I mean, I take issue with what Ty's saying, because the way that it happened was she went and told old boy that he was about to get sued. He tried to give him a way out, and she was like, yo, you know, just go ahead and, you know, just pay the dude, you know, just take it some accountability. And he was like, basically, F you, I'm a dude, ain't nobody finna tell me what to do. And next thing you know, she went to court and Matt Murdock showed up. You know, there was no discussion of Deadpool outfits, suits, any of that stuff.
Daredevil.
At that time. What did I say? Did I say
Deadpool.
Deadpool? I think I'd rather watch Deadpool.
Just let me know anytime you're about to say a name, and I'll just say the name for you.
You might have to be my ventriloquist,
Just
man.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Deadpool and Rings of Power and shit.
Right. But it's so Deadpool, Daredevil, excuse me, Matt Murdock shows up at the bar, you know what I'm saying, and they get to talking, you know what I'm saying, and I guess that is when they discussed the suits, but both of them were in like human form, you know what I'm saying, and I guess she could have been like, well, maybe he is, but he was blind too, and she's like, yo, this dude's blind, you know what I'm saying, and I mean that's his cover, so I guess, you know, I guess you're right, she could have figured it out, but I don't know. I guess it didn't make it, but you know,
She don't be putting two and two together real good, you know. Bless her, but she a lawyer, and math is not her favorite subject.
Nah, obviously D is her favorite subject. And that's
I
and
mean,
that's
I
why
can't fault her for it. I'm on the
she could
Dean's
not.
list.
That's why she could not focus when all of that was going on, because she was too busy thinking about. But as she told us, she was like, "Is it just me, or is it something here?" Like she asked us, was like, "Oh, it must be you," you know. So
She's trying to nurse that Josh heartbreak.
She's ahead of the class.
Yeah. Well, also let's not forget about Daredevil. Matt Murdock. He fucks too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like throughout the seasons of Daredevil, he was out there. I mean, you know, Karen, Claire. I mean, I think they were. You know, he was. Yeah, he was out there getting it
everywhere. Yeah.
And listen, man. But he's a gentleman. He tried to take her out, but she was like, why don't we skip straight to the? You know what I'm saying? And
valid point.
Very, very key to the character in the comics, I understand. So, what I can say about this episode is there's a few things that I loved. So I'm sorry that Ty didn't love it as much, and I know he's not really into this, but you know, I've already discussed how I love the fact that this is a comedy, a lighthearted, a non-series show. It's not really, it's in the MCU, but it's not tied to the MCU plot lines with the multiverses and all that other stuff. I mean, it kind of is, but it's kind of not. I know they did that in one episode, but what I loved about this was the attorney banter. All right, I loved how they actually did have sparring in the courtroom when they both used their knowledge. You know what I'm saying, like of the law. I loved how in one of the last fight scenes, spoiler alert, in one of the last fight scenes, they were actually like quoting case studies. You know what I'm saying, like while they were fighting. You know what I'm saying, and I also love the fact that they did gravitate towards each other. I mean, these are two popular characters. This is the Netflix Disney Plus crossover. They just brought it to us in these last couple episodes, and they're doing it. So now, if Daredevil comes to Disney Plus, we're likely going to see Tatiana in Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just secured a spot. So I liked all of those things. What's up, Tyrone?
Yeah, just I on that point, I really enjoyed a little bit lighter of a Daredevil. I think the as much as I love the Netflix show, and I really did love it, we got a very consistently traumatized Matt Murdock. He was always dealing with just straight up, you know, just he was never happy. Like, I don't know, we saw Matt Murdock and Daredevil smile in this episode, and I was like, oh shit. Like, he's kind of happy. This is great. I like this. You know what I mean? So I think it gives the character a little bit of room to breathe. Their chemistry was great, so it was fun to see that kind of back and forth on a you know, as the heroes and as their alter egos. I thought that was really cool chemistry, really great banter. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this version of Matt Murdock, and I think this is closer to the version that we'll get when we get into the Daredevil Born Again series. And I like that. I think that there's some room for Daredevil to be fun.
Agreed. Ty, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I totally disagree with Tyrone. I think the thing, I'm serious, because I think what made the Daredevil series so good was the darkness of the series, which was something different from the other Marvel series that were already playing on Netflix as well, because we got the fun stuff with Jessica Jones. We got all of the but the darkness of this show, because remember, this show came out before Punisher. So this was what we got.
Daredevil was the first one.
So what we got with Daredevil was our first attempt at Marvel, like really doing some violence and bringing violence into, you know what I'm saying, into us, and us kind of gravitating towards it. So that's what made me love the Daredevil series above all the other series, even though Punisher's right there next to it. But still, this is what kind of separated it. And I'm scared that this fun, kind of bland version of Daredevil is going to turn into the bland version of Daredevil that we got with Ben Affleck when they first attempted to do that. And I don't want to see that. I want the dark version. I know Disney, he's on Disney now, and I knew they were going to kind of a little bit dumb it down a little bit, but I did not like him at all in this version. Like, I don't like him. I like the broody dark. Daredevil is a hero of the night. Most of his stuff goes on in the night. You don't want a happy-go-lucky dude doing shit at the nighttime. That's not, like, I'm just saying, it just doesn't match. It just doesn't match. When you see darkness you want somebody to kind of have that element to them. And what I saw was just a horny, a horny Matt Murdock that
The
looked
more
like he
comic
had
accurate, Matt.
he hasn't
Oh.
he hasn't really had no, he like, because I mean he didn't waste no time with old girl. Like they got
Oh,
in there.
you would?
Huh?
You would waste time?
Yeah, she's not. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, she's not like anything that I would be like, oh my gosh, I gotta, nah, it's. I mean, she's a plain Jane to me, and I say that. I say that with the utmost respect, because there's nothing wrong with being a plain Jane, but it's not nothing that I'm about to be over here breaking, like, and there's just not, it's not gonna be none of that. I buy a plain Jane to drink and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, oh, here you go, and I wouldn't think twice about it. You know what I'm saying? But Matt obviously had other plans. He was like, look, I ain't had no snatch since I got a lot of stuff built up, a lot of aggression built up. Last time I got the roll around on the floor with somebody, it was Kingpin.
You might be right, man. Even though I think somewhere deep below the surface, you want some of this body, yaddy, man, and you won't admit it in front of us now, but it's there, bro. And I got a feeling that if you was given the opportunity, you probably would tie smash the homie. But hey, that's what you're saying. Now I will say this: I do agree with you in that the darkness of Daredevil did make it more appealing. But what I think we saw wasn't an episode of Daredevil. I think what we saw was Daredevil and what it looks like when he crosses over into the She-Hulk universe, and that brings in the brevity. Because keep in mind, Daredevil, the last time we saw him, he died. I don't know if y'all remember that. I mean, he was in Spider-Man. I mean, we know that. But before that, in the series, Defenders, if y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if we watch Defenders, spoiler alert, like, he becomes the hero in one of the last scenes, and
But wasn't there a Daredevil season after that though?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he came back. Yeah.
Remember,
okay.
Remember,
Okay.
remember the building collapsed, I believe, in Defenders or something like that.
Yeah,
he was down there, but he didn't die.
Did he get out? I don't know.
He got out, but I mean, I forgot how they explained it. I think the whoever was down there with him, I think it was a woman or something, and she like
Elektra.
Elektra and yanked him into the thing or something. Like, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it, but he didn't die. So,
Elektra. You got to add Elektra to Daredevil's list, by the way.
Yeah.
To Matt Murdock's list.
Elektra.
He was out there. But yeah, no, I think, but what I do think, I don't know if they're going to like, we get the same Kingpin and we get the same Daredevil and stuff, but I don't know how much of what we saw on the Netflix show is going to be MCU canon. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that, I think we're going to kind of get a little bit of like a reset when Daredevil Born Again starts. I think they're going to kind of establish a little bit more of like what we're getting in in the MCU. But yeah, no, 100%. Like the Netflix series was amazing.
Amazing, absolutely.
What's up, Nally?
They did actually announce this week
That it is
that
canon.
Netflix is canon.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix is canon. Okay.
It is canon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to
They
say
announced
that.
that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, they got to. I mean, look, they're tying all. I mean, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we get an Echo appearance. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a Yelena. I mean, now that they brought them in, and a Kingpin all in a freaking what's the Hawkeye.
It's more likely you
so,
will
yeah,
see
man.
Hawkeye. It's more likely you'll see
Yeah.
Hawkeye just because.
Well, I don't. Yeah, you think so?
Because you saw her being at the end of this episode, you saw, and I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Shield or if that's the same group that we just saw in Miss Marvel. We don't know what that government agency that was out there that had all of those guns pointed at her. It could be the regular police task force. We don't know. But what I do know is that our boy Hawkeye still works for the government from time to time. So
that's true. That's true. But I thought that in the Hawkeye series, like, he basically was like, I'm going back to, spend time with the family, and it felt like he was passing like they was trying to pass the baton to Yelena excuse me, not Yelena, but Kate Bishop as Hawkeye.
But then also, we find out at the end that his wife is also a superhero. So it's
She was
like,
an agent.
is he?
Yeah, she was Agent 19.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, as long as we get the long form fighting scenes, even if they take a little bit of the blood up, I ain't gonna be mad. As long as we still have a salacious, fornicating and completely promiscuous Daredevil, you know what I'm saying? As long as Foggy shows up and Kingpin's still the guy, then I'm cool with it. So Daredevil, as long as you don't mush up any of that, I need to reformat the picture. As long as you don't mess none of that stuff up, man, we here for it. But as for it being in She-Hulk, I and 4 out of 5 panelists agree that he brought it to this episode and it actually worked well. Not only for just him, but for She-Hulk too. And also, as I mentioned before we started, I like the fact that they are allowing her to have multiple partners and they are addressing the fact that as a woman, it's not the end of the world and it shouldn't be quote unquote slut shamed, as I think that they're leaning into towards the end of the episode. You know, because there was something like, you got a lot of, you know, you've been with partners. I forgot the quote. It was something like, I mean, you know, something about partners. I can't remember what it was.
They tried to intelligentsia, called her a slut and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sex.
One thing I will say that I do like that Disney is doing, right? Disney is not fully like investing in the sex scenes. So what they're doing, and like, so what they've done is the first time we saw her like carry the guy to the room, and then she woke up the next morning in the kitchen cooking stuff, and then we seen him fully clothed. The next time we saw her in the sex scene, we saw her laying in the bed, the guy kind of like sitting on the corner of the bed, like basically stealing her information. The next time we see them, we now see clothes all over the floor. They're both naked, but they don't show up above their legs, but they let you see that all their clothes are gone and they're in the bathroom with, no socks and shoes on. So but I love the way that they're approaching it because they're being tasteful in the way that they're doing it, even though, she's definitely out here saying, look, we effing tonight. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it's not like they really have a choice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Disney has to, they're not going to, Pornhub this out. You know what I'm saying? This is not, they kind of got to make it classy. But I like how in this one, as opposed to the first one, remember, I was like, yo, they smashed. But you was like, did they? In this one, it was confirmed. Like, she was like, yes, I smashed the
exactly.
And it is what it is. And it was great. You know what I'm saying? And, so, one time for Dare She-Hulk and the gamma baby that may ensue. It's going to be the biggest, greenest, blindest like superhero. But I'm here for it, man.
And the Daredevil Walk of Shame, by the way, was pretty great.
Oh yes!
Pretty damn
Oh my
great.
god! I was
great.
like, he doing the Walk of Shame, and then like when his friend came in and was like, "Yo, there's like a devil looking dude like just doing the Walk of Shame right now." I was like, "Yes, fuck yeah!"
Yes.
So
why? Yes. Why are you so proud? What's you just happy to do?
Everyone has gone through that at some point. Okay, the fact that he was in his costume, no shoes, just like chilling, walking down the street, like what this is. It was great.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So keep that in mind, man. When that happens for some folks, it's a walk of shame, but when it happens to the right man, it's a stride.
it's like I got out of there.
You walk around like, hey, I did that. That's me.
Yeah, that's me.
Did I do it? Did I do what I did? Did I do what I do? I did what I did. I did what I did. I did. You know what? Hey, did I do it? I did. I did what I do. Up top. So yeah, man, keep it coming, man. She-Hulk, Marvel, we cool, you have held it down. Like all of the criticism, and y'all just keep going. Is it just me? I was just about to move on to the House of Dragon. But is it just me, or am I just getting more used to the CGI, or is it getting better?
It's getting a little better.
It's getting a little better. There were some moments
like
in this episode that were like, okay,
kind of late, but
yeah, I think they're listening.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know if they're listening because I mean, I think that this stuff was all done a while back, right? I mean, and they're just now releasing it.
Yeah,
So
this is all
so
the
I
same
don't
people.
know if it's if they're
Maybe as
revamping.
they were
Maybe
going
they are.
along.
It's possible. They did it with Sonic. They had made it and they went back and made some modifications. But in this episode, there were multiple close-ups, and I didn't feel that same. Ugh. But also, I'm like, am I just now desensitized? I've been seeing it so much that it might not even, because there's a clear difference when you look at like her skin and Matt Murdock.
It's also the lighting. There, a lot of those scenes that you're talking about, those still scenes are in the darkness, and they're dimly lighted scenes. It's not that they've done anything different. It's just that we've gotten used to it over the course of 6-7 episodes to kind of seeing it. But if you're a person like me that just can't, like the movements are still her gliding everywhere. She still does not walk, she glides, and it just like that. As soon as I start seeing that, I feel like she's on those little. What are those little things? Those little things that you buy the kids and they put their 2 feet on it. I feel like she's on one of those all the time. Like, you know what I mean?
She walks like she walks like that alien in When Mars Attacks. When
Yes,
the woman suit.
yes, I was just about to say that. The way she's like in her arms and shit. Yes. Oh my god, I was just about to say that, Nelly. Yes, fucking dead.
Then why are you playing that the same CGI is being used for Mars Attack? That's the part you forgot. That's the same CGI.
To that, but yeah. Hey, listen. I think that it's a good. The hair does throw me off every now and then. Like if you focus and zoom into the hair, you're like, oh my god, that is a cartoon, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I get the sense that She-Hulk has garnered up enough of a following, enough of support this year that with the next season that they will be able to Thanos it out. You know what I'm saying? And because there's no reason for, like, some people didn't even realize Thanos in the first Avengers was a CGI character. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're idiots for not seeing that, but it, for certain select few people, they was like, Thanos is that's what we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see it. She looks like Botoxed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see any facial expression. You see her mouth, but she has no lines on her face, no pigment. So,
it's
but
weird.
I don't want to. I couldn't do it. Yes, Nally.
It's weird because, like, when you look at Hulk, like, especially in scenes where they had together, you're like, look at his CGI, and it's like, okay, but who did Baby Girls? Because are we in the same studio?
They were fired.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it because and this is weird, but is it because Hulk is a man and She-Hulk is a woman and we expect more details from the woman, not as much from the man? Is there any validity in that, or is it just...
I think it's more of like, he's a man. You know, saying you guys have facial hair and stuff like that. You guys have like rugged features. Women have smoother skin. So I think they were trying to like, go with that. You know what I'm saying? And like the direction that they were going with was like a little bit like too fake. She's plastic at this point. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, you can see it. It's not like it's not apparent. So, I mean, like even kids are saying they can, see like the difference. So, I mean, it's not like it's the greatest, but it's not, I guess it could be worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tyrone may know this but Tyrone, is there like a preset with CGI? Is there like a preset program that they use so since they've already had Hulk for some years now, could they already have like a template that they kind of just are able to kind of like filter in or put into the system to where they don't have to go through all of the stuff, the technical aspects of it as much as they do with the new characters such as She-Hulk?
I'm sure that that it helped that they already had like a decade of models built and stuff like that for Hulk. That had to come into play. Without a doubt, I think it's reasonable to expect that was the case. But yeah, I think what it comes down to is budget. I think that's just pretty much what it comes down to. As there are as many shows and as many movies that are coming out, you have to spread that money around where you can, and I think this just comes down to budget,
or where you think it will be most useful. Let's just say that.
Someone's got to pay for them Wong cameos. I'm saying.
Exactly.
That part. All right, cool. Well, guys, We'll go ahead and move on, man. She-Hulk, keep doing your thing. Smash away. She even said She-Hulk smash in this episode, which was cool.
It's cute.
So do your thing, man. Ain't nobody tripping on that. We'll move on to House of the Dragon real quick while I have your attention. Do us a favor and go ahead and like, share, comment. Thank you for our YouTube followers. If you are watching us on anything other than YouTube, if this is a replay and you're watching it on Facebook or anywhere else, Twitter, Twitch, then make sure you go and smash that YouTube subscribe button. It looks like, and for this is a good example as to why you should do that. It looks like Facebook has given us the X-Men this morning. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But oddly enough, YouTube is still running strong. Twitch is still running strong. Yeah, man, if y'all want to do this the right way, then follow us on YouTube. I don't know what it was. It's probably the GIF. Maybe, which I've used before, but I didn't use it. I don't know what I could have done.
I'm guessing it was the song that was playing during that Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Tyrone, next time, just say red alert, and then we'll just say red alert, and we'll know to stop it right
Why
there.
am I always the party pooper though? I always be the guy that's like, I don't know about
You're
this,
so
guys.
good at
I'm
it.
always that guy in the movie that's like, guys, I don't know if this is a good idea, and then everybody's like, shut
And
up.
that's why you survived the horror movie.
Yep, that's exactly why. That and the your life's getting screwed. You know.
I'm over there
I'm
like,
just
I
saying.
told you guys. I told you.
Told you not to go into the woods. Yeah. Well, you play that role. You're good at that, man. You're like a really cool auntie. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, now y'all gonna smoke in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like at least do it around us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, so it's not.
Rather you
don't
be
do it.
safe than do it out there dangerously.
I'm mad, Vince. You didn't have any cool uncles to compare Tyrone to.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
can we just
He's
start
like,
calling me
he's
Auntie?
like, he's like a cool auntie.
We got to start calling me Auntie Tyrone now. Like, it's just,
Listen, I'm Godfather Yaz, so you're Auntie Tyrone. All right,
There you
we're in this, dog. What's up?
Walking in like Killmonger. Sup, auntie?
what?
Yeah, well, New Blurred Order does not subscribe to your pronouns and gender roles. Okay, we are what we want to be. Yaz is the Godfather, and Tyrone is my aunt, and that's just how it is.
This is what it is.
Damn right.
I love this family dynamic.
So yeah, moving right along, man. Once again, man, She-Hulk was so great this week. But let's move on to the fantasy. Now, I have to admit, guys, I wasn't able to see the full episode of Rings of Power. I did see the first few minutes of it, the fire, the despair, but I won't be able to vote in this week. Did everybody else get a chance to see the Rings of Power and House of Dragon?
Nobody saw House of Dragon. Nobody.
But also,
shut up, man. Y'all did a whole show on it, man.
but don't forget, we didn't get a chance to talk about last week's Rings of Power episode, which I think was like
That's true.
huge.
Great.
So just want to we
can do that too. We can do that too.
Yeah.
And I don't mind spoilers from this week, honestly, because I know it's like it's 10 episodes. This
Yeah,
for
so we
Ring
have
of Power.
what?
So this is episode 7, I believe. So I saw the first parts of it. But but before we do that, I didn't get a chance to. Now, without the bullshit, did everybody get a chance to see Rings of Power? Did everybody else see it?
Watched it this morning.
We watched the black screen. That was what the episode was. Just a dark.
Are you
black
serious?
screen.
Because you didn't have power. All right.
No.
So
Oh, no, that's House of the Dragon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. What are we talking about? Are we talking about Rings of Power? Or House
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Okay.
All right. Making sure y'all saw that. I saw House of
Stop
Dragon.
hating,
Yes.
So I'm gonna take myself out of this week's vote since I didn't see both episodes, even though I'm pretty sure I would probably vote for Rings of Power anyway.
Mhm.
But I'll go ahead and put this up. And let's see, hands up if you thought House of Dragon was better. Hands down if you think Rings of Power was better. Hands up for House of Dragon. Hands down for Rings of Power. I am out of this vote. We'll go ahead in 3, 2, 1. Oh, shoot. Yes, it's like thumbs up. You know what? Fuck the vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this was a tough vote. This was a tough vote this week.
It was hard.
It was a tough vote. It was a tough vote.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's start with before we go into, and then I might just peel out and run down the street to Comic-Con, which I'm at. Which Stephanie, who is not with us today, who couldn't be with us because she's working, she's teaching a class. She is such a busy woman. She helped facilitate getting us into a panel for New York Comic Con, which we did this Thursday. So go to the New York, go to the New Blurred Order Instagram and Facebook pages, and we'll be posting some pictures from there pretty soon. So shout out to Steph. Sorry you couldn't be here. It's always great to have Steph on. She's one of our members, but she couldn't be here today. But yeah, Comic Con's here. Before that, House of the Dragon. And honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. House of Dragon happened so long ago. It's like when I'm watching it, I will say this week's episode I was into. It was very significant, but another side of me is like, all right, where are we going with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really happened? Yaz, you remember what happened on House of Dragon this week?
Yeah.
You want to give us a quick breakdown, man? Just kind of refresh our memories real quick.
Absolutely. All right. So, obviously, last week, what happened was that Lena, Damon's wife, she went out like a fucking gangster. She refused to die in childbirth, and losing her and her child. So she took one like a gangster, and she went out like a dragon rider, and her dragon completely burned her to bits. So we were celebrating her. We were just, celebrating her life and having, a wake for her in the beginning of the episode of this week. And what happens is tensions are high at the funeral. Everyone is just kind of, shit's going on. But we did see Otto Hightower back as the fucking hand. Yes, he is. The leech is back. What?
I was gonna say, is he the hand or is he a hand?
Oh, he is the hand.
He's the hand
Okay.
for now. For now, he's the hand, but that's to be discussed at a later date. But
Okay.
But yeah, so not only did we get to see Rhaenyra and Laenor and Damon's kids and the princes all get into a nasty scuffle, and someone lost an eye. It was just a pretty crazy altogether episode, just because like Rhaenyra and Damon finally, had their moment together. I'm sure Tyrone was cringing at every moment in that scene. And not only did that happen, but the kids got into a nice little scuffle. Everyone got their lashes, and we learned that Queen Alicent is not so as righteous as she claims to be. He ended up striking Rhaenyra and cutting her in the middle of the hall while defending her son, and getting pissed off that her husband defended his daughter and her children over the children that she had with him. So the realm is in a disarray right now. Everyone's angry, everyone's blaming each other, everyone's just trying to save their own ass right now. Tensions are high, and Rhaenyra's sons were called bastards. So grandsire, he made sure that everyone in the whole realm known that if anyone is to question the kids' births, that they will be tongueless. They will completely not have a tongue anymore. So I'm kind of excited for the next person who says some shit. I'm not gonna lie, but this episode, the reason why Aemon Targaryen lost an eye was because he ended up finally getting his fucking dragon. He's riding Vhagar, the biggest dragon in the kingdom. So I don't know, shit's getting crazy right now, because we just gave up on one of our biggest allies unknowingly, and Rhaenyra and Daemon secretly got married after they planned the death of her husband, and he's not really dead though. So shit's kind of getting crazy. The whole, it kind of sucks. I'm kind of mad just because like the whole lineage, basically, except for the girls of Damon's little girls, like there's no future for the Sea Bearers. I can't remember what their house is.
Valerian?
House of Valerian.
Yeah, Valerian, yeah. There's all the guys, you know what I'm saying? Like all the guys, they're gone, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sad to see it, but is this why we don't see any really dark prominent houses in Games of Thrones? This is kind of I guess questions that I have. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what's going to happen from here, but it definitely was a crazy fucking episode. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man, and you said a mouthful, because I mean, this really this is exactly why things would never work out between me and any family members. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the mess that they're in right now. Like, this chick is trying to court her uncle to have kids that look like her and the uncle, to get back at the husband that she, and the father is the brother's dad. It's so crazy, man. And I don't know. I got this real icky feeling, when that kid came back from riding the dragon and was walking with that strut. Yeah, when Eamon was walking with that strut, and he went full Kanye and just started like, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was too far for the knife, but I mean, he was like bullying everybody, but it's because he was bullied. So the one thing about House of Dragon, folks aren't just evil. They always seem to have a backstory. They seem to have some sort of calculated something going on. Tyrone, what's up, bro? I know y'all talked about this on Multiverse.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the whole scene of him riding the dragon, like the whole lead up to him riding the dragon, and then what you just described as him walking in with this kind of pep in his step. If you compare that scene to Virginity, him losing his virginity, because throughout this whole series, well, not the whole series, obviously, but once they established them as children, Eamon has always kind of been like the one that's just been standoffish, a little bit shy, but and timid. And this was his breakout. This was him in essence losing his virginity. He almost fell off the thing. He finally got on. He conquered it. And that was his swagger that he walked in with. Like, I just rode the biggest dragon in the world, and he's mine.
Yep.
Yeah. What? What? And that's how he came in there. And then they was like, "You stole my dragon." Well, you should have tied your dragon up then left him out there all by himself. So I mean, yeah, man, that's kind of what that was in that moment.
What about the fact that in this episode we're kind of, because in the last episode prior to this there was a lot of why they moving the timeline so fast, you know what I'm saying? And I was just getting used to the Targaryens at their younger age, Alicent and Rhaenyra, but have we adjusted already? Is it only 2 episodes and now we have accepted that Rhaenyra and Alicent are these characters and we're willing to kind of forego what we saw before? This show seems to be moving at an extremely fast pace. There's a lot of stuff happening. So Tyrone, is that it?
I don't think we have much of a choice but to accept the people that they're giving us. We just, unless we just want to stop watching and be like, well, the first 3 episodes are gonna be my, you know what I mean? We can't necessarily. We could do that, but we don't want to do that. To me, this show is just messy, and I watch it as such. So I don't expect many good things out of the show. So it's just, we could have fun discussing the drama and all the, the many layers of incestuous behavior on the show. So to me, just still so weird that the romance is, like the Daemon Rhaenyra wedding scene was just like,
that was so weird with the blood.
And then they went extra and did like the blood and stuff. It's like, y'all didn't have to give us this, but that's just what they do. So I think that, and I think we'll probably have other time jumps.
Next episode.
Is there? Next? Yeah. So there we go.
We got used to the kids for 5 seconds, and then the trailer was like, "Look at these guys," and I was like, "Who dat?"
Yeah, that's right. So now we're gonna have completely different kids, and I think it does is I think the time jumps don't serve the show at all. I think it, because we don't know who any of these people are except for like one thing about them. Like we know Aemon's weird, and now he has a dragon. Aegon is also weird, but because he likes to masturbate out of his window. The other kids.
Look at the damn sister that he's betrothed to now. She's like playing with spiders and bugs and dead bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Then I don't know if we're ever gonna see Daemon's kids again. I feel like those girls just showed up just to have their dragon stolen, and then that's about it. That I think they did that family wrong. To Yaz's point earlier, it seems like we're, because we were all very excited about going in and seeing some representation in House of the Dragon.
Yes.
But like nobody's really having a good day, and as we all know from Game of Thrones, the entire Valerian people don't survive any of this. So we know that eventually we're going to lose all of these people. But it looks like they're kind of rushing to get to that part of it and make them insignificant.
So let's go to our lit connoisseur here. Nolly, are we tell us without telling us, are we witnessing the extinction of the black race in the House of the Dragon? Like, I mean, you don't have to tell us how it ends, but is it? I guess let me ask a better question: is what we're watching adding up to what the literature has? Are we seeing a lot of differences?
For the most part, yes. The whole Laenor lives at the end. No. He is deceased. He is gone.
Oh, how is that?
In the book, he dies. Actually, Corey does kill him in the books. But because he's jealous, they're at a fair or whatever, and he thinks that Laenor has taken on a younger lover, and out of jealousy, he murders him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so he killed him, but he's not dead. I don't know what we're doing with that. I'm sure we'll see him later, whatever.
I
but
thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's technically not the end. They play a big role in the Civil War that's coming. So, but I won't say more.
Okay.
Well, yeah, wow.
That's
definitely a lot. Yo, yes. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I thought that it was pretty well done, the execution the faked execution.
Damon killed the squire or whatever that dude was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they because I was like, I had to go back and watch because I kept asking Austin, who was the dude they murdered to like portray as his body? You know what I'm saying? Austin was like, he killed him. I said, no, Damon killed someone in like the chapel or some shit and took his body and threw it in the fire so that, you couldn't see the top of his body and his hair. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have white hair. He had dark hair. So I had to go back and like look at that. And that was well fucking thought out. Like, and like hours too, they executed that shit. Like, got the plan, got it done, got married in hours. It was like in a day, all that shit was done, literally.
Maybe y'all, the ties, did y'all, I didn't get a chance to see the whole multiverse. Maybe y'all discussed this, but I couldn't tell in this theatrical representation of it whether or not Damon, whether this was intentional. Like I couldn't tell if Damon actually told the bull to secretly have him escape, or if he just told him to kill him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they leave that part kind of up for your imagination.
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Actually, the first thing he told him was, he said, there is a place across the sea where a man doesn't have to worry about names as long as he has money, pretty much. And then he said, so what are you asking? And he said, a quick death. In public view, with
witnesses.
Witnesses. So everything, like, we as people that don't speak like that, were like, what just happened? But they knew exactly what the hell they were doing and talking about in that moment.
Exactly. Like, interpreted multiple ways.
Yeah, I read it differently. I read it that Damon wanted him to die because he needed that to happen to marry Rhaenyra, but then he just used it like he got the better of the situation and then used it as an opportunity to escape. Or maybe the dude who was supposed to initiate the whole thing was like, I'm not going to betray you, but here's what we can do, that kind of thing. I think that I think these questions are because they're not really giving us enough, but I was confused about the whole thing, mainly because I was like, so they just believe that this is the dude and that's it. And so I think they just kind of, a little bit of a ball drop on,
all right.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say to help you out with that. Dame, if what you're saying is true and you read it that way, Damon would not have gone to go kill the servant to have a body to replace the one that he wouldn't even have been there.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Damon would have had no reason to go if he just sent him there to kill him.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that was a well thought out plan. Like
he
literally murdered him.
Put the body. Yeah, they had everything prepared. Not all the way down to changing the boots that the dead person had on into Laenor's boots. So this was a well thought out plan. That's why I said, like, when they said what they said to each other, they read exactly what we didn't know because we're not privy to that lingo. But they knew exactly what was going on and staged that together. Everybody knew what was going on. First of all, Rhaenyra was not going to kill Laenor. Not after the conversation she just had, telling him how much of an honorable man he is, and there's not that many people like him in the kingdom. And I think she had a level. She knew that he was like how he was, and he wasn't. He didn't like women. She wasn't mad at him like that. She just wished that he would have been there for her. But that whole situation, like I said, I just wanted to explain that.
Did this happen on screen? Apparently, I missed a bunch of shit on this episode.
It was
very dark,
like undertoned. Okay, so when he came in to check on Rhaenyra, he was like, he said, I should have been there, and she said, those should be our house words.
Mm-hmm.
Literally said that to him. You know what I'm saying? Like saying, like, like we're never there for each other. Like when we need each other, no, we're never there. You know what I'm saying? And like, this, we know that this marriage was a farce, but like, and he knows it's because of him. And he's like, I failed you. I'm a horrible person. She's like, no, you're a good person. You're one of the only.
That I'm specifically asking about Damon murdering
like
the
killing
other guy and
yeah.
changing his
It was
boots and stuff like
dimly
that.
lit.
Did this happen on screen?
Yeah, it was a dimly lit scene.
It
was
didn't have what Tyrone is saying is, did any of us see him change the dude's boots? No, nobody saw him change the dude's boots, Tyrone. What I'm saying is he killed the guard. If what you're saying is true, as though you read it as him paying the guy to go kill Sir Laenor, there would be no reason for Damon to be there when that happens.
Yeah.
If that's what I'm saying, there would be no reason.
But that's what I'm saying. Did I miss Damon being there?
Yes.
And I guess so. I guess I did miss that.
He was lurking in the background.
Listen, he was lurking. So all you see is a scene with just candles. All right, just like literally candles lit up, and then you see someone walking into like a cathedral type, like building with the candles, and then next thing you see is Damon just coming behind and snapping his neck, dragging his body out, and then the next scene that you see is them inside of the hall having their argument with the squire watching and him running to go get the guards. So it literally it happened in like 5 seconds. They did it so quickly, and that's why I went back and watched it, because
and you don't piece it together till the end when you see him rowing out to the boat. You're like, oh, he alive and he bald.
You're like, why did Damon just kill this dude for no reason? And then next thing you know, these motherfuckers are fighting over dumb honor inside. You know what I'm saying? So it just then you're like, oh shit, he just paid him to. Oh shit! Like, you know what I'm saying? I think the reason why they kept Laenor alive is because once Rhaenyra takes the crown, later on she's going to need someone on her side, and he's got the name, he's got the title, all that stuff later on.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
She just that's not at all what's happening. Actually, they need in order for her and Damon to get married, Laenor had to be dead. And that's sure. But that's what I'm saying, that the reason they didn't kill Laenor is because of what I just said earlier. Is she literally does that is her cousin first and foremost.
That's true.
Secondly, she really does like genuinely respect him. She said what she said about him, and so that's why they didn't kill him. That like, we're not gonna kill you because you're in love with somebody other than me. Like, that's crazy. Go be in love. That's what we're doing because it benefits us. Because now, by you being out of the picture, I can now marry my uncle, Damon, and make him what she said, the prince consort, which means I'm gonna use you as my concubine, basically. That's what a prince consort is.
I know, that's why I'm laughing.
You know what I mean? She's like, look, we can now make babies that won't be questioned. That's what this is all about. This is all about the blood. Everybody is questioning the strong babies because everybody knows that those aren't Valerian blood, and that's not it's Targaryen blood, but it's not Valerian blood, and they're considered bastards because she whatever. That's you know what I'm saying. But all I'm saying, Tyrone, is yes, Daemon came into the Hall of Nine where the Helms were and killed the innocent bystander in order to make this thing happen. So that's why I said that was.
It's strange to me that they would go through all that trouble to keep him alive, knowing that he would be literally the only thing that could illegitimize any of the kids that they have and stuff. It just seems like a really It seems like a really weird time for them to all of a sudden grow a conscience and decide we should keep him alive. That's what I mean. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
I think it's because of the talk they had.
Yeah.
Where he came to realization like he couldn't help his sister. He realized that he wasn't really present, and he was like, I'm not the person who I said I was going to be, and now I'm promising you that I'm going to be who I said I would be. And she was like, realistically, that's not a thing, but you're an honorable man, blah blah. And they had that heart to heart.
And then after that, that's when Daemon and Rhaenyra had the conversation about, well, he needs to die so we can be married. And then, and that was, but like that was, Rhaenyra wasn't like, but what if we just made it look like he died and that kind of thing? Like she was ready to like make the move. So Daemon just decided all of a sudden, like maybe I should not kill him.
That's not what she was doing though. Like when they had the conversation and he said, well, if we were to get married, Laenor would have to die. She didn't say anything other than like, I know, like it, but it like that, but that's not. She didn't say it in a way that made it seem like we're gonna kill him. It just they just kind of went off on the incident of the thing. So what Laenor has been pitied since we brought Laenor into the fold. Like, let's be very clear. Laenor's lover got killed on the night of his wedding, his wedding celebration. Rhaena had very much pity for him having to be married in the midst of that moment. We remember that scene. We remember Millie Alcott sitting there and looking at him with these eyes like, it's so terrible that's happening right now, cousin. I wish I could comfort you and all of that kind of stuff. But that we remember that. And this has been Laenor's story, this continual, conflict with his sexuality and his duty and trying to do. They said that they tried to do what make the babies and it wouldn't happen. This has been his whole dynamic. So it's not surprising that they're going to send it, because remember, he still has a dragon. So I think that's why they didn't kill him, and that's why we may see him again. And it's going to cause conflict when that happens, obviously. And maybe that's what the writers decided to move in that story, in that direction with the storyline.
Does he still have a dragon?
Yes, and that part confused me because like dragons know when their riders die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how are they? Because also there's like something that happens down the line and smoke goes to someone else, and I just need to know how that happens.
Yeah, and it's still messy to me because I guess for all of this to have taken place the way, like Daemon just had to decide all of a sudden to just be a halfway decent dude. Like, this is a guy who murdered his wife. Right. You know what I mean? Like without any kind of second thought or any kind of, you know what I mean? Like, this dude is not nice. Like he's a bastard. You know what I mean? And
he loves Rhaenyra though. Like that's been like from day one. You know what I'm saying? Like we've all known that like Rhaenyra and him have a special relationship. She can like, I don't know, just have him. She makes him see shit in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just, I don't know. You can tell their bond it's really different. So he's not gonna do something that he knows is gonna betray her. You know what I'm saying? When he finally gets a chance to be with her. So I'd rather be on the team than against the team. You know what I'm saying? So.
And Tyrone, a little also like you're saying he killed his wife, but she was wife only entitled.
Yep.
Like they didn't have no relationship. He didn't love her. He didn't care much. He actually
they never consummated their marriage.
They despised both. They both despised each other. So it wasn't like he killed his wife. Like, oh, like killed the love of my life. He just killed a person that was in his way. And Laenor again is his cousin. he
doesn't really seem to have much. No, I feel you. I'm what I'm saying is, it's just me pointing out the messiness of the show. Like everything about Daemon we've gotten so far would lead me to believe that he would just kill Laenor because like
Right.
that's who Damon is. But like then this weird change that he's like, this might come back to bite me later, but I'm gonna go ahead and send you on a rowboat and just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like it's a bad move by Damon.
Love makes you do stupid shit, Tyrone. That's right there.
That's the thing. Like at no point, like I see where you could be like, well, this might be why, but the show is not giving us that. I think that's us doing the work as viewers, but the show is not giving us that. The show is giving us like this guy has been, jockeying for position the whole time.
He's got it.
But he also just sealed his own fate on some bullshit because he let Laenor live. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense as a strategic move to not kill Laenor just to be nice. And Damon,
he doesn't even like want anything. That's what I'm saying. Like Laenor is not a threat in Damon's eyes. It's like he's a child. You know what I'm saying? So like, why would you murder an innocent child for no fucking reason? Just let that nigga live and go on about his life.
And also on top of that, like Tyrone has already made his opinion of Damon, and clearly that you probably have people that share that sentiment. But what has Damon really done to the people that he loves? Like honestly, like he hasn't tried to kill Viserys the entire series, which I knew he wouldn't. He's been upset with him. He attempted at the one time to have sex with Rhaenyra in order to infuriate his brother, and then pulled out of the situation or whatever. But outside of that, you're like these conniving things or the backstabbing things. The dangerous person that I've seen on the show thus far is Larys Strong.
Yeah,
he is the most dangerous person on the thing. Damon is no longer the most. Like Damon is smart and he's very even. He's like you, Tyrone. He's very even kill. He's very even kill in all situations. Have you not noticed that this young man is always just cool, calm, and collective in all situations? Like, his daughters just got jumped and beat up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see him as him being cool, calm. I saw that as him not giving a fuck about his daughters.
Right.
Because at no point has he given a single fuck about those kids.
And
I thought that, but in the last episode, I went back and I watched that. Do you realize that after the mother died on the roof, when I said he didn't do anything, he actually hugged both of those little girls very, very tightly on the top of that roof. Damon, I'm telling you, is low key not what you think he is. He is definitely a person who is about trying to get the throne or getting to the throne. But I think as far as like the people that he's loyal to, which is like Rhaenyra and his family, because that's all I've seen him be loyal to, and I really feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, being loyal to the people that's close to you.
Hold on. Let me interrupt. Like you call it loyalty, but I think you're right. Damon is cool, calm, collected, but he's also a sly fox. Like, Don't forget, he still has that whole territory. They call him the king of the what? Like, he has his own
stepping stones.
The stepping stones and the water. Yeah. So he's collecting. He's over there low key. He just bought Park Place. He just bought Baltimore. All the railroads. You know what I'm saying? He just got all of the railroads. He's on Baltic Avenue now. Like, this dude is low key collecting the whole Monopoly board, and he's just waiting for Viserys to go ahead and fade to the background. And based on some of the leaks that I've heard, it doesn't look good for the people that are close to him for when Viserys starts getting out of the picture. So I don't know if what you're defining as him being mild-mannered is still, I can still say is loyal. Let's not forget that he beat the shit out of the messenger when Viserys sent the messenger like, "Yo, we sent you some ships." He's like, "Fuck your ships," you know what I'm saying? And then he went ahead and conquered the king, the crab dude, in that area. And then the next episode, he's trying to lay with his daughter and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's just cool, calm, collected. This dude that we didn't think he is. I think that he's just sly. He's the little finger of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always plotting. So I just don't trust his face. I don't trust his face. I don't
Tell us the
trust him.
truth.
Like, because I mean, he literally ran out to his wife being, barbecued, and he was just like, it was like, well,
What was he
look
gonna
at
do?
that. You know?
What was he gonna do? Die with
Yeah,
her?
He'd
yeah.
be like, no,
like
some emotion. Be like, oh fuck, like what do you do? You know what I'm saying? But
She was
just like,
gonna.
nah, he doesn't,
No,
but he
she was
doesn't
gonna
show
die
that.
no matter what. They literally
Yeah.
that's what the surgeons told her. No matter what, she was gonna die. It was about the kid inside of her he was more like trying to figure out if they're gonna be able to get it out or not. And she took both of them down. So no wonder why he was like, I didn't get to know if I had a boy or a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like he was robbed of knowing his child, knowing his wife was gonna die, dog.
His wife and child were just burnt to a fricassee, and his facial expression was this.
Okay, to that though, right?
What would you?
He had a
We all grieve
conversation with
differently.
Rhaenyra on the beach, right, when they were walking, and he said something because there was a lot of things that let you know that Daemon is grieving in his own way.
Yep.
Daemon said to Rhaenyra, at least one of us is able to grieve outwardly.
Oh, he did say that.
Because she can't grieve for Harwin Strong outwardly because people would know what's really up. Well, people already know what's up, but then it's just kind of confirming it. So he is, and when she asked him, did you love her? He said, we were happy enough. Like for Daemon, that meant, I loved her.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I loved her. I mean, yes, I had genuine feelings for her. Like we were good. I wasn't, and to all of these things about collecting and stuff, the Pentos thing, he didn't ask for that. By the way, they offered that to him. He did not ask to have to be anything in Pentos. They asked him to do that. Just so you know. And that's why I said this. But a lot of this stuff about Daemon, man, I feel like it's just because he's so sly. This dude is wise, man. He's the one person that knows who the fuck Otto is and who the fuck he really is. You know what I'm saying? And what he's really trying to do. I'm telling you, he's always had his brother's back and was just mad that his brother was allowing people to use him and do him like he was written done. And that's what this is all boiled down.
He's always had Viserys's back, is all I'm saying. Just because, like, Viserys multiple times has tried to get him to come home and be in his court, and multiple times he has refused him because he
got shitted on.
Well, he doesn't want that privilege. Yeah, you're right, and he feels betrayed. So, I mean, I get that, he's not wanting to get all these advancements from everywhere else, but he's not denying them either. So just remember that all these people are giving. I'm saying he's conquering these things and he's upholding these titles, but still, like, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's. I mean, if you really think about it, Vince has got a point. He is a sly little fox there. Like, he literally is in the court now. He can be like, as soon as Rhaenyra, is the queen, he's in. He's got all these kingdoms, all these different places. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy. I'm excited.
Like, I just feel like everybody's just missing that fact that all these things that are happening that you guys are naming are things that he did not actually ask for. The Rhaenyra came to him. He didn't go to Rhaenyra. He did not. He didn't though. I'm telling you the truth. Rhaenyra went to him. He did not go to Rhaenyra.
Bro, he took Rhaenyra out into the heart of the Agrabah marketplace.
Oh man, I'm not talking. You're going way back. I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about back when she was a kid.
That was where the seed was planted, though. Like, don't you get it? Like,
what seed? What seed was planted? The seed was planted. The seed of love was always there. Rhaenyra on the beach confessed that she's always had a connection to Daemon, and that she felt like Daemon left her. She's always wanted her uncle.
Mm-hmm. It's apparent because when he gives her the necklace, you see like that first little glimpse. But when she's upset with him after the whole outing thing, you notice she doesn't wear her necklace anymore, which is why they made the effort to show the scene of her putting the necklace back on.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't there a difference between a fascination of a person and an intrigue in like being one to be romantically involved? Like, I feel like Rhaenyra was like, oh, that's my uncle. Yo, he's cool as shit. To like, hold up, my uncle fine as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like after she took him out to the brothels, and that was Daemon, in my opinion, doing that intentionally. Keep in mind, when Daemon points his eyes at a woman, they come. Like when the Valarian chick, like he's like, fuck that, I ain't worried about that age shit, man. Come on, you know what I'm saying? And then they got married. So I don't know if I mean, I listen. I dig the. Honestly, Damon is the most interesting. Some people argue with me, but he's the most fascinating character in this entire series.
Oh,
I mean, there's
absolutely.
other than the dragons and stuff, and I'm starting to kind of like the one-eyed kid. I don't remember his Eamon.
Eamon.
He's starting to become one of my favorite now too, as in a villain sense. But he's clear, and so you clearly are taken with him. But I mean, you're giving me he's a good guy vibes, and I don't believe that at all. Like, I think that this dude is just placing his chess pieces where they need to be for him to take he's playing the Game of Thrones the right way. If that's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I agree there that he's playing the Game of Thrones, but I just wanted to like a lot of the stuff that's happening is not him doing it. He was okay with staying in Pentos. Remember, he told the king, "I don't need to come here. I'm okay with going back to where with me and my daughters back to where we was at." Not like so all of this is okay with Damon. Rhaenyra was like, "Uncle, I need you. Uncle, I need you. I can't battle the Greens without you." And like, so at this point now, I'm not only obligated, but now I see some benefit out of this team up. Now of course I see some ways that I can maneuver. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
but you don't think that this is strategically been set up this way? Like, the only difference by Damon, like, okay, look, for everything that you say he wasn't given, that was given to him, he played a role in. They didn't just call him the king out the blue. They did it because he defied his brother and did not accept his assistance and went out there.
Why did he do that?
He did that because he wants to claim that area. Like, he's doing that.
That wasn't why he did it. He did it. He went to claim the stepping stones. Him and Corlys already talked about it. They went to do it to establish a name for themselves. Like basically,
why do they need a name for themselves?
Because all of the only name that he had in the kingdom was a fuck up. So he was trying to establish himself as more than a fuck up to his brother, because he wanted to be the heir to the throne. That's what all of that was about. So like that. So
it's a pride and honor thing too, because even Corlys tells his wife, they'll remember a name, So, and that's why he's so focused on, well, whose name will they carry on the throne? Like, I don't know, man.
That's why he's so concerned about who's going to take over the Valerian name. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though the boys like are not, you know what I'm saying, like the Valerian blood, that he's very about them taking on the names, because the names is what history will remember, not blood. Remember,
he tells the younger son Luke, when the Driftmark will be yours, because it's essentially the first son would be king in King's Landing, so the second son would be the king of Driftmark. But because King's Landing, the first son would have to transition to the name Targaryen on the throne, Driftmark would still have a Valerian on the throne. It's all a name thing.
Okay, so all right, so let's say we give you that. All right, so do you think, Tylene, that Damon is legitimately interested in Rhaenyra, or he's interested in what Rhaenyra can provide for him by way of her being access way to the throne and being a way to finally kind of like take a step over his brother? Like, because I look at him as using Rhaenyra the same way he used the stepping stones, the same way he's using the Velaryon, used the Velaryon wife to kind of get himself into more dragon houses. So you think
I think you're pointing the finger at the wrong person. Rhaenyra is using Damon. Rhaenyra has been the one to orchestrate all of these things. Like you said, you thought that you kind of thought that Damon orchestrated all of this. How do you orchestrate your wife having a baby in that won't come out? You don't orchestrate that. You don't orchestrate her. He didn't orchestrate her murder. The whole reason that they were there was because she killed herself. Like, he didn't orchestrate that. They were in Pentos again, and they were actually happy. Remember, Lena wanted to go back to Driftmark. He didn't want to go back. He didn't want to go back to King's Landing. He didn't want to go. He wanted to stay in Pentos. That was what they were all discussing before she went into labor, was staying there and she wanted to leave. So all of these ideas that he's been orchestrating this and pulling strings and doing all of this. No, Rhaenyra this is all Rhaenyra's doing. This is all this stuff that's going on right now has all been Rhaenyra.
So to answer my question, do you think that Damon legitimately has a thing for Rhaenyra?
Yes. Absolutely, he loves her. He loves her as a niece. He is now going to love her as a lover. He's going to love her as a husband. Yes, absolutely.
Gross.
It's gross. It's gross, but that's it's gross. Absolutely, but that's what it is. Absolutely.
I'm not.
I'm just saying they really tried this week to make me think that was a beautiful love scene. That's an uncle and a niece. Y'all can't make me like it.
No, man. The only thing that really like twisted me was like, why the blood though?
It apparently it's it's not ever fully like described in detail what exactly like a traditional Targaryen wedding is like, but there is they imply that there's blood sharing and whatever. I mean,
yeah, I was wondering if they were like dripping that blood in the cup, because that's what I was like when as soon as they lifted that cup, I was like, are they drinking the blood? Like, oh my God. I was like, we're doing this. We're just doing it. We're just doing everything now at this point.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the same issues we have today were the same issues they had back then. I mean, they were drinking blood in Indiana Jones too.
I mean,
we're talking 5,000 years.
We're talking about like at a wedding, you like be cutting your lip and drawing little.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I'm sure if we just in Woman King there was some blood exchange too. You know what I'm saying?
It was like the third or fourth grossest thing of the wedding. You know what I mean? There were a lot more gross shit.
Yeah,
you're right. But I'm with Nolly though. Like they really
they laid it on thick. They was like, we heard you like this. From who? Who told you? Because surely you did not ask me or any other sane person that I talked to, because who said that we wanted a drawn out, beautiful love? I know why. I've been watching the show. I've been here a few episodes. I know that's an uncle and a niece. And I'm not on board with the children of the chalk and their nastiness. Okay? I don't want to watch it. It could have been 2 seconds. 2. Yeah. But no, it was a whole job. I felt like I needed a commercial break.
Yeah, man.
Well, somebody in the production team was like, probably was like, I think we're going too far, guys. And they was like, all right, just dim the camera, just dim the light, just make it real dark. Just make it real dark. They won't know.
I was waiting for Silk Freak Me to come on in the background, like Freak Me, baby. Oh yeah, I'm like, man, that's your niece, my nigga. Like, they are trying, Tyrone, so hard to desensitize. Hey, I ain't ready, man. Come back a little later. What? Oh yeah, I want an iron. Yeah, bring me the iron, please. Come inside. Yeah, you can. Okay, you leave it by the door.
No, leave it.
Man, hold on. I'm gonna come get it right now.
Yeah,
hold on, I'm coming. Talk about yourself, man. Don't leave. I can't go up there with a flaccid backdrop.
Yeah, Vince got to take care of that that performance issue on his Watcher costume.
Hold on.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, no, it's. What's up, man? You were about to ask a question.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, no, the conversation has been riveting, and like what I see as I've just been listening and taking a step back and listening, is that there's so much room for guessing in this show, like I've never seen. Like it's, and I think it's because like there's just this is a symptom of the time jumps, and like just sprinting from event to event, is that like we don't know the motivations of so many of these characters. We have to kind of fill in the blanks, and when we do that, we're kind of we're kind of like creating our own narrative, and I think there's too much room for that in this show right now, because what I'm seeing and what Ty's seeing are two totally different things. I'm just like, this is great.
Too.
I don't think it's that Ty's wrong or that I'm wrong. I think it's that we're just given too much room for customization in this show, and that's why they should take it. Go ahead.
Let me argue with you on that. We did the same thing during WandaVision. You know what I'm saying? Like WandaVision, we sat in every week. Who is it really? What's really going on? You know, we never really like knew what was going on. I think
that was intentional with WandaVision.
Yeah, I think that's the next statement was. I think the ambiguity is intentional. I think that they want for there to be conversations struck up with speculation about what's going on, and that's done by design. So, I think that George R.R. Martin and the producers are like, yo, look, we don't want to spell it out, because we want them to talk about it on the forums. We want them to do the New Blurred Order podcast and talk about it and not lay it out so definitively. That's the one thing that I think Rings of Power and not the one thing, but one of the things that Rings of Power and House of the Dragon have different. Like in Rings of Power, they do, even though they do it in Elvish and in Dwarven, and they do kind of spell things out, even though there are still, like, we still don't know who the gray bearded man is, and we don't know who exactly Sauron is. But it is a lot less room for ambiguity in that one. Whereas this one, it's completely speculative. Like we said, like Tyrone is reading the same Bible. I mean, Talim is reading the same Bible we're reading, Tyrone, but for some reason, still we're atheists, and he's still a believer, and And I think that's by design.
That's indicative. That's indicative of good writing. I agree. I think with Rings of Power and House of the Dragon, you kind of put it. I think House of the pace is different on Rings of Power than it is of House of Dragons. Very, very fast paced over here. But I think the reason that we are seeing what we are seeing is because Damon was initially pushed out towards us as the villain. Like he almost was the first person, like with the first person we saw to kill people, to do like to dismember people. That was the first thing the first interaction we kind of got with Damon was that. So automatically you get evil. Oh, he's the bad guy. He's da. But what they've done throughout this series is sprinkle little things here. We had Otto, where I was like, oh, I'm dead set that Otto was the bad guy. Blah, 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 blah. Then next thing you know, you get Alara Strong enters the discussion. Now you have Alicent, who is now in a position where she's like could possibly be the villain. So there are so many dynamics that are unfolding because this is a Game of Thrones show, which I expected to happen. But when I see like Damon always being the focal point, like he's the one that's pulling the strings, he's the one that's doing this, he's the one. When I see that's not the case, then I'm just like, I got to speak on it. And that's really all I'm doing is speaking on the fact that everybody's pointing fingers at Damon, but Damon is not that. Damon a lot of times has been minding his fucking business. And I'm just saying.
Yo, Tyrone, why is Ty giving me like, well, he even forfeited his salary because he's the president. They wanted to get grabbed. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be like.
No, I think, and that's the thing. Like I don't blame Ty for this because if it's intentional and they're being this ambiguous, so by the time we get to the end of season 1, it's like there's reveals and you're like, oh shit, the whole time, wow, that's great. Like then great, you pulled it off, you had us fooled and all that was great. I don't see it though. Like I'm not, like right now I'm seeing messiness, like, and I'm not talking about incest stuff, I'm just talking about like from a writing aspect, I'm just seeing messiness because they're just like, characters are kind of changing at a whim and without any kind of other separate motivations, stuff like that. It's just not hitting for me. So as I'm hearing the, Ty defending Damon and I'm hearing like I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess it does kind of make sense because of what we've been given so far, because we've been given things that leave a lot of room for interpretation. Now if it's one thing if you're like, playing a little bit with like whether or not this person is in the gray area or, are they a good person? Are they a bad person and stuff? But this just seems that if we don't give too much information, we can just do whatever we want. And to me, that's why this show just doesn't hit for me, because I'm like, y'all haven't really established any kind of like rules for this universe other than like just whatever the hell we want to happen will happen.
Oh, there are rules, and they are you must sleep with a family member to excel. That's number one.
It is the most consistent thing of the
dragon.
show. Yeah, it is the most consistent thing of the show, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So a couple things real quick. We spent so much time talking about Deadpool, and a lot of time talking about She-Hulk. We're running low on time. There was 2 more shows that we were going to discuss: Rings of Power and Andor. Looks like Andor is going to meet the falling end of the chopping block this week, unfortunately, even though the little bit I saw before I fell asleep on it looked extremely intriguing. I love where they're going with the law versus the people thing in Andor. It's riveting. It really feels very, very Rogue One. Like they really like have done a good job with making, like, giving you Star Wars without giving you like fandom Star. Like it's so grassroots. It's so gritty. I love every freaking bit of it, man. You know what I'm saying? It shows that Star Wars still has a life outside of Jedi, the Force, and even the Mandalorian. But okay, so there's that. Then of course there's the Rings of Power, which we use to compare to the to Lord of the Rings. To Game of Thrones. We want to discuss that. I didn't see it this week, so I'll probably bow out.
That was really good.
Yeah,
It was so
really good.
Yeah, in my opinion, far superior to House of the Dragon, like without a
Really
doubt.
good.
Yeah.
Oh man, so I didn't even see Rings of Power, but I'm going to go ahead and vote for Rings of Power anyways, just because I just think that the show is just giving me more to look forward to. But I had one last question about House of the Dragon, and that is, what did y'all think about? And if you want, we can discuss the other shows next week, and just go ahead and date it, because Comic-Con is calling me. Both my kids are staring at me. Like waiting, they're just like, look, bro, if you don't hurry up, get up out of here. So this is the new Lord Order was taped in front of a live studio audience. So I have this one last question about House of Thrones, and I'll leave it up to y'all if y'all want to just come back next week and talk about
House of Thrones.
House of Thrones.
Sorry.
What is the name of the shit, man? The House of
Deadpool.
House of the Dragon.
So I have one last question. This one's for everybody, man. And then, like I said, y'all let me know if y'all want. We can just come back next week and talk about the Rings of Power this week and Andor this week. But what are y'all opinion on the battle, on like the actual dilemma that Rhaenyra and Alicent had to kind of go through? Like, that was a really good quandary, a good quagmire to kind of be in. You know, like, the kids all started it. This is all Aemon, right? But now the parents is in it, you know, and it's such a I don't want to say perfect, but such a messy pickle of things. So you got Alicent, who is the king's wife. Her son has attacked the king's daughter's kids, and the king's daughter's kids took the eye from the king's son, and the king's sitting there like, look, I don't want to, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I don't want no parts of this. Like, y'all just, figure this out. You know what I'm saying? Look, he don't want to, but his wife and daughter are beefing, and his nieces, who are also his grandchildren, I guess. I don't know what's going. It's so weird. Like, he has to decide between two of them. His son is sitting there with no eye, and he's like, "Look, everybody, we're cool, right? We're cool." So, I mean, yes. What's your opinion? Like, was Alicent really wrong? I mean, her son is basically saying, "Look, bro, this dude took my eye," and he's like, "All right, look, eye for an eye." You know what I'm saying? And like, just what are your thoughts on that? Like, how did he handle that right, Viserys? So what would you have done if you had to deal with this type of situation?
So I totally agreed with Viserys on his decision, because I mean, how do you punish your grandchild, your grandchildren for hurting your son who was attacking them? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The King's Guard, like you said, should have been doing their job. Their job is to guard his fucking bloodline, and they were not doing that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I 100% agree with Viserys. I do think Alicent took it to that next level, like her hormones, you know what I'm saying? Her passions, as they say, got the best of her when she took the knife and like just straight went for it. I thought that was kind of crazy. I thought it was more crazy of how everyone after she did that reacted. Like Sir Christian went to go after Rhaenyra, Daemon grabed Sir Christian, and the King's Guard went to stop everybody else that was behind Rhaenyra to make sure that they didn't interfere with the fact that Alicent was attacking her. So I know that whole scene was like, if you really like look around and like go back and pause it, that whole scene was fucking nuts. Like really, because you know what I mean? Like the Queen just went crazy, and then just like, you know what I'm saying, everyone backed up, and all the King's guards basically just jumped, and Daemon was like, if I don't stop Sir Christian, he's gonna end up letting her cut that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I really like the conflict in it. But yeah, I mean, Alicent took it to that extra level. Aemon said, Mom, I gained so much more. And you know, I'm not even mad at it. Like, don't mourn me, mother. Like, I gained a fucking dragon. Like, I'm not even pissed. It's an eye. And if you really think about it, Aemon, later on in Games of Thrones, he becomes the Meister of the fucking wall. So he was gonna go blind no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
like,
what?
It's a different Aemon.
Is it?
Yeah.
This is 5,000 years later.
No,
170.
170.
Well, how old do these people
Who
live?
knows?
Because look at Viserys. Like, he's like, I'm just trying to figure out what the fucking age.
Yeah, Viserys is gonna live to be
keep in mind.
400.
I was saying, like, what the
He's
fuck?
falling apart and still trucking. That poor
Thank
kid.
you.
But they also named the kids after each other too.
Yes,
because
like Aegon is the third.
Yeah.
There's Aegon the
Yeah.
Conqueror, which is why they're in Westeros. It's a whole
Right.
thing.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I think of course Alicent took it to that next level, but I like the fact that Rhaenyra, like, straight up in the front of everybody was just like, now they see you for who you are.
Which was
And
the
everyone
best.
was, like,
That
looking
was
at
the
her
best
like,
moment of the whole episode.
It was. It fucking was. I was like, yes, that fucking conniving ass bitch. I was so happy. I'm just waiting for like the strong guy. I'm waiting for him to get his though. I hope someone burns his ass with a dragon, or lets their dragon rip his ass apart or something.
Oh, the way I see it, the way that the Game of Thrones series, at least the ones that we know work, the most conniving motherfucker normally ends up lasting almost damn near the longest. You know what I'm saying?
But like the Queen knows he's conniving though, so once she goes down, you know what I'm saying, there ain't gonna be no one to save him. You know what I'm saying? She's the only one saving him from doing, you know, so you gotta remember that too. Like once she goes down, she's gonna be like, well, he fucking did this and he fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that bitch is gonna be pointing fingers left and right, like trying to save her ass.
I have a sneaky suspicion that the queen there won't be a queen on the throne for too long of a time, only because I don't trust Daemon, and the tea leaves are giving me that it's not going to bode well for whoever is near him. But I'll leave it at that, man. I think we'll go ahead and wrap up unless y'all have anything else to gather before I start getting vegetables thrown at me from the crowd here. But yeah, man, definitely we got to get the other half of this fantasy battle next week with the Rings of Power. Who knows? Maybe we'll even do a pop-up during the week. I don't know, man. And we got to definitely talk about Andor, which is slowly becoming, honestly, one of my favorite shows in the Star Wars universe. Despite no lightsabers, despite you know what does it for me? The droids, the machines, the flight. Just the environments that these things are happening in, but still has that home government versus the people type of feel. And I'm loving it, Tyrone. I mean, am I going to like this week's episode?
The way they're building, I think that they're building up to the 6th episode being just, I can't wait. What they've been talking about, the visuals, I think are going to be great because they've been talking about this kind of like celestial event happening and stuff like that, and just and what's going to be happening during it. But yeah, just such a great Revolution story. The storytelling is fantastic. The acting is so strong. It's all just it definitely hits all the right notes and is fantastic so far. So I think we'll want to talk about Andor after the 6th episode for sure, because of they've been building kind of this 3 episode at a time sort of thing. So like that first 3 episodes sort of like wrapped with a big moment. These second 3 episodes, will also wrap with a big moment, and just enjoying it. They're setting it up so nicely.
Fantastic. All right. Well, listen, man. We got time here. Sorry, Facebook. I didn't mean to play "Wake Me Up" before we go. In the trailer. My bad. I'm gonna go ahead and head over here to the con man and do my little thug thizzle. It is so cool being here, and I'm gonna post pictures in the group and maybe even on the page. Real quick. Next week, we're more than likely not only going to discuss these 2 episodes of Rings of Power, since we're missing 1, and 2 episodes of Andor, but also Werewolf by Night and the Kid Cudi Intergalactic, which frankly should have been discussed this week, but I'm a terrible time manager.
We'll need Steph for that one anyway. Steph is excited about that one.
Yes, we need Steph one for that one. All right, but anything on the way out? Oh, make sure y'all tune into the multiverse. It has been on fuego for these last few weeks, especially. I actually am. If you haven't been, they break down each episode of the House of Dragon before we even get here. So it's one of the reasons why Ty is such a knowledgeable member of the panel. So make sure y'all check that out every Wednesday, 6:30 Western, East, 6:30 sometime Eastern time.
Eastern time.
Right here, they posted in the New Blurred Order group, man. That's family. And make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, and go ahead and hit that. That's what follow, like, subscribe, and hit that share button if you enjoyed today's show, especially on YouTube, guys. That is our primary goal, is to have the bulk of all of our views come from YouTube, honestly. Not only because it's in Google, because there's monetization there. We'll go ahead and let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. As I'm sitting here, Keith, you want to join me for this for a second? Man, you want to come on in and say what's happening, man? Hey, what up, y'all?
There she go.
Yeah,
it's just little me. All right, so as I always say, be your authentic self. Because if you're not being yourself, you're being fake, and we'll find you. Okay, white lives matter. I don't know why I threw that in there. Kanye was on my mind. And as always, if you're gonna be
you messed that up, Vince. You should have just said we're watching.
We're watching. Yes,
we're watching.
We're watching.
You know what?
I'm done.
All right, take all that stuff back. And as always, we missed you, Steph, but we love you, and thanks for getting us in the Comic-Con. It looks like we're going to be seeing Tyrone in a little while. And as always, if you're a geek, say, let that geek fly.
Let that geek fly.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to beat. Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging, and our uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity of them niggas over there. Yeah. Now look at what I wear.
All right, I may or may not